Hello everyone, welcome to the Ichimoku Charts.com daily analysis for the S&P 500 for Tuesday, July 16th, 2013. Well, a change of trend today, and a candle that's made a lower high and a lower low. Previous day's trading, we saw a spinning top type candle, a candle of indecision, and that was an indecisive candle at the top of a very strong first time frame uptrend. We had a series of white body candles in that uptrend. The small body of that candle suggested that there was a good possibility of a change of trend. And the fact that we had indecision coming into the market did also suggest that change of trend was possible, and also possible interaction with the extreme high at around this 1687 level. And today we've seen that occur. We have seen the market making a lower high and a lower low for today's trading, and a black body candle. And the black body candle means that now sentiment has shifted from the buyers in terms of net progress to the sellers, and the sellers have made a decent amount of net bearish progress on the day between the open and the close, and it does suggest that the sellers have found some momentum, where the momentum for the previous upswing was strongly with the buyers up until the last couple of trading days. Now, a few things to worry about with this candle, and yesterday you may recall that I suggested that the top of this highlighted yellow zone that was previous resistance may turn into support, and for today's trading we've seen the market test down into that level and be rejected from there. So at the moment it is actually holding a support. The market has failed to close beyond that area, and that is an important level for us moving forward. So we will be looking for a potential lower high and lower low tomorrow to confirm this downtrend that we've seen. And I suggested a likely scenario was that we could see the market sell off to a degree, the trend to change, but for some support to come in within this area, and the market to make a test on the 1687 level or above, and that still is on the cards. The market has closed roughly around the midpoint level, and that suggests that the sellers are not supporting this downtrend. It suggests that neither side is closed with control. So previously, for most of the trading that we saw in that first time frame uptrend, the buyers were closing with control at the end of each trading day, but today the sellers have failed to close with control. So it doesn't give us a lot of confidence in this trend continuing down, and the large shadow on the bottom of this candle suggests that the sellers have lost commitment. Now, that doesn't tell us anything about strength from the buyers. The buyers really aren't the stronger party here. The sellers, because of that black body candle, have found some downside momentum, so there is still a possibility of that trend continuing down. But the factors that I've just mentioned does raise some doubt about the potential for that trend to continue down. Now, obviously 1700 above is a target for us if we do break through the 1687 level, but what I'd like to see is a strong bullish close up above there for an assault up to that area. And if this trend does change, we'd like to see it occur on a fairly large white bodied candle. Now, in reality, we don't actually know how the market's going to react, so we can't preempt the market. All we can deal in is probabilities. But certainly we do know that this area has been a strong area of previous resistance, and the market has sold off significantly as it tested above this area and to the top of this highlighted area. And so we have now once again, and for this candle here 3 trading periods ago, we have seen buyers coming in around that area, so it is an area to watch. We could potentially have the market trade substantially into that area. We saw price rejection down to about here, and the market could trade down to around the 1650 level before we see support coming in. But as I've mentioned, the rejection of the buyers from the area does suggest there is a possibility of the trend to change back to the upside. Now, in terms of the Fibonacci extension, we're examining the relationship of this new first time frame uptrend to the previous time the market was trending up. And here today we saw the market testing through the 50%, through the 61.8%, and finding support at the 78.6%, being rejected from all of those areas and failing to close through the 50% level. It does suggest that there is good potential for a change of trend. So let's be on the lookout for a higher high and a higher low to confirm that change of trend back to the upside. In terms of the Fibonacci retracement, telling a slightly different story here. The market hasn't interacted with any important levels yet, so this does suggest that the market may trade lower. The first area we should be looking at is the 23.6% level, that's at 1665, and then the 38.2% level, which is a bit more important, that's at 1653, and the 50% level down here coincides with the area that the Tenkan Sen is trading at, so that will be very, very solid support for this market if it does trade down to that area. But certainly at the moment this isn't giving us any clues as to where we may see strong support coming into the market. Now, in terms of Ichimoku, obviously a bullish market in all three timeframes. The market's trading up above the clouds, so we're bullish in the long-term time frame. The market's also trading above the Kijun Sen, so bullish in the medium-term time frame, and that Kijun Sen is now pointing flat, and that's reflecting the market moving back towards equilibrium. And we know that a flat Kijun Sen tends to attract price action, and that's what we're seeing. So let's be on the lookout for a lower high and lower low. And that does suggest that the market could trade lower. The market is still looking a little bit overextended. It is trading a long way away from the Kijun Sen, so a high level of disequilibrium in the market, and there is a possibility of the market retracing back. And the market is also trading up above the Tenkan Sen, so bullish in the the short-term time frame. That's also pointing flat, reflecting the end of the first time frame uptrend that we've seen in this market. The checkout span here is above the corresponding price action, so it's confirming the bullishness that we're seeing in all three time frames. And what this is suggesting is that there is a possibility of this market retracing lower, finding support somewhere within this area, the buyers coming back into this market, and the market testing back up to higher levels. So that makes the low of this current candle quite important as far as potential lower high and lower low. But with the rejection from that area, there is still a possibility of the trend changing back to the upside. 1687 becomes an important level for a test up to 1700.